My daughter and my son, Dan Laden, I claim to be my son, reminded me that as long ago as before the coup, His Excellency Tafawa Balewa secretly donated 260 British pounds those days to the African National Congress, now in government. We owe so much of our freedom to you. On behalf of South Africa, thank you, Nigeria. One of the first countries we visited after the release of the leadership was this country. Mariam was a first lady then, a striking woman, warm, charismatic, and she embraced me as if we had known each other for years. By the time we attended our first rally here, she had changed my wardrobe. From then on, I had stunning outfits which were the envy of every woman in South Africa.
We are going to put it straight to you. The problem here are the white people. Because of profits. They control the South African economy. They are saying it in our faces that we are in control of the South African economy. It doesn't matter who is in control as government. And as a result, so they pride themselves to say we are in control. We even control government. As a result, we're saying we the black people are going to stand up and mobilize ourselves and take our land. We've got evidence to that effect. So even those who claim to be commercial businesses, we know you are there as a result of this. And we even did a mistake in law. No one needs to explain to any white person what they did in dispossessing black people. Even if they have established commercial farms or established schools or any establishment they have done, that video is telling a white person who is unsuspecting to say you dispossessed people when they owned the land. Today we are labeled with a belittling label of being a labor tenant. You are telling a person who once owned the land through their forebears. Today it is a white man who's a landowner. Blacks are now tenants. And this is entrenched even in the governmental systems and the language and the labeling. When you say landlords, it's no longer blacks, it's whites. That's a correction we must make. Two, may I say, when I saw the minutes of the Native Affairs Department in 1960, the title of the minutes said, this is the right time to take the land of the Mthethwas in Paul Petersburg to give it over to other tribes. I saw those records with my own eyes and I was in pain. And you know when did they take them? During the death of Inkosi Mandla Kayise Mthethwa in 1960. They said Mthethwas will be in mourning the whole year. So take their land now. The culture does not allow them to interfere with other people, at least while they are mourning. It will be after mourning that they will come. By the time they come, their land will be gone. This is the practice of Roman, Dutch and British law. The white man's law that is being used to now return our land. We must now go through the eye of an eagle to conform to Roman, Dutch and British law when our land was never packaged by Romans and by the Dutch and by the British. That's an error. So when land is being returned, you are not doing us a favor, neither government nor white people. You took our land. You are just returning stolen property. And that must be clear. So I don't need to account to anyone. What am I doing with that land? It is my inheritance through my forebears. The same way the farmers are claiming ownership of the farms they're sitting on. They say, here is made you the fatherland. But a black person cannot say the same thing. To say, this is my father's land. And I must explain to a white person. And I must go to court to explain myself. And yet, when a white man says, this is my father's land, it's understandable. When a black man says, this is my forebears' land, it's not understandable because the law we are using is very wrong.
I want to speak about the xenophobia and Afrophobia that you have practiced here in South Africa today. And I want to challenge you. You say Zimbabweans take your job, Nigerians take your jobs, and you march and close shops and beat up people. Tell us, after doing that, how many jobs have you created? By beating up these Nigerians, by beating up these Ghanaians, by beating up these Zimbabweans, loading them. If you load them, I have not seen anyone being loaded. No one. And you say they take jobs from you. You have beat them up, you have taken them out of the country. How many jobs have you created after that? Because the battle should be about jobs. You beat people because they took your jobs. They ran away. You close a shop that hires 5 people and say they take our jobs. After closing that jobs, how many jobs have you created? Unskilled men with no skill, none whatsoever. Say somebody took their job. The only skill they know is to drink Intelis, Impesu, and all of that nonsense, and want to pretend like they are revolutionary as it were. I don't want your vote if you behave like that. Take them away. If the MK wants it, give it to them. I don't want the votes that says to me, I must hate Africans for you to vote for me. I'll never do that. That I must go take an African child out of school, proud elderly person, pushing a child, an African child that looks like you. I must go to a school and push a child that looks like Opano, my child, and say, get out of school. The same way apartheid did, and say, you are not worthy of education. I must repeat that. I must do that. I will never do that. You can take your votes. Let me die with my conscience very clear. I will never refuse a pregnant woman of African descent to give birth in the clinics of South Africa. Never will I do that.
When you kill Zimbabweans, Mozambicans, Nigerians, Somalians here in South Africa and calling them Makwere and calling them all sorts of names, today you hold a placard and say Black Lives Matters when you support the killing of your own fellow black brothers and sisters here in South Africa, and have some useless hashtag on social media, put South Africa first. That is a narrow nationalism, because the problem of black people is not a problem of South Africa. A black man is hated everywhere, be it in China, be it in France, be it everywhere. You cannot say South Africa first. We must say black first and defend the black lives everywhere, including here in South Africa. Let us treat black life with respect and dignity. We will never be respected if we suffer from self-hate. Because the reality of the situation is that you don't respect yourself. Because if you loved this face, this black face, when you are about to burn a Zimbabwean and seeing the tears of a black African fellow crying for his or her life, you will see yourself and stop it immediately. It is not a problem of Zimbabwe. It is not a problem of Nigeria. It is a problem of self-hate. We must begin to love ourselves. Then we'll never have a problem anyway.